Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ties That Bind, RoguesPort. Uh, we're here for session one, the first official session of the stream. Well, not of the stream, but of Monster Heart stream. And just want to say thanks for being here with us, folks. It's going to get pretty chaotic, pretty quick. Just to go through some quick things. As always, remember this is, 18 plus, and it's going to stay that way for the foreseeable future. So, be prepared for that. Trigger warnings for various types of uncomfortable situations, things, abuse, divorce, possible violence. We have some pretty violent characters this season. Um, but yeah, we're really looking forward to getting started. And let's go a quick round table of everybody just say your name and the character you're playing so that everyone can keep everyone straight. And let's start with Drew.
Hi, y'all. I am Drew Harris, and I am playing Tessa Warren.
Okay. Great.
Hi, I am Gray, and I'm trying to figure out what my last name is, but I'm V Martinez, and I'm playing as the Black Widow.
Gotcha. Presley.
I am Presley, and I am playing Beatrice Hart, the Fomorian.
That's right. And Allie.
Hi, I'm Allie, and I'm playing Noah Graham, the Ghoul.
Gotcha. And actually, as an example, both Tessa and V are playing custom skins. Drew is playing the Empath, a custom skin they made up themselves, and V is the Black Widow, which is also a custom skin made up by Gray for this season. So we're really eager to see how these turn out. If we have to change some things up throughout the season, we may end up doing that, but it's Monster Hearts. If it causes problems, that means it's probably doing its job pretty well. So, and hi everyone, I'm Josh, and I play everyone else. So, let's jump right into it. So this, we get the credits, the opening credits and title screen for Ties That Bind, RoguesPort comes up. And it says 2 weeks later, after the little previously on, and it shows an explosion and a fire and people in an alley being hunted down and a very pale-skinned young woman with black eyes staring at people and a young red-haired lady who may or may not have had something to do with the explosion in the first place. And 2 weeks later, the scene opens up on the high school, which is, as we know, does anybody remember the name of the high school?
Greg Lester Memorial, baby.
That's right, Greg Lester Memorial High School. We will find out throughout the season if he was an interesting person or just some rando. But it currently opens up on the high school kids. It's the beginning of the day. Kids are showing up, talking, splitting off, and eventually the camera follows B. How does B arrive at school?
I feel like if some days like one of the dads will take her, but most of the time I think she probably just like walks. I assume the school and the station are pretty close to each other.
Good. So walking distance, we see B walking up from the street and talking to a few people as she walks inside. And then the camera sort of follows her in and sort of spins around a little bit. And it finally lands on Tessa. Tessa, what's the first thing Tessa does when Tessa gets to school?
I think Tessa drives herself to school. Tessa has a car. It is a junker, but it works. And I think she sits in her car for as long as she can, without being late. And then as soon as, like, at that last moment, like, she has timed this perfectly. She gets out of her car and heads inside. She'll go to her locker, grab her things, and then go straight to her seat and sits down. And this whole time, she has on these big headphones, um, that are older, but they were a good, like, a high quality item once. But they are definitely an older model for sure.
Gotcha. So we follow Tessa as she walks into a class labeled Mr. Fontaine, French 1, 2, and 3. And as she walks in, both Noah and V are talking to a few others. How do the two of you start your days? Usually, we'll start with Noah. How does the beginning of school work for Noah?
I think Noah is just like vibing out, got some like AirPods in, and you'd think that they're listening to like some sort of crazy ass music, but they're like listening to like classical piano music, just vibing, going to school, just sitting down, not really like interacting unless someone interacts with them.
Okay. V, what about you?
I think V gets there early, and goes in to the classroom just to kind of collect herself because she doesn't have a lot of time alone. So I think she's either reading or playing on her phone, but she has a car, so she definitely drives herself.
Kids make their way in if they're not already there. Some just barely getting in. Some like Carter just barely getting in as the bell is ringing. And uh, Mr. Fontaine eventually gets everyone settled down and sort of writes up on the board free time and turns around and says, "All right, everybody, we're getting close to the end of the year, and I just want to say thank you all for making my first year as a teacher on my own much less torture than I was worried it might be. So I've decided that as long as we can keep it to a low roar and not get the admin to come down on us, that homeroom for the rest of the year will be your time to do as you see fit. No classes. Feel free to get up, talk to each other, socialize, do as you see, do whatever you think you need. Any of you who are in my French class, feel free to come up and ask any questions. I'm happy to help. But it's the least I can do. You all have been great, and I just wanted to say thanks. So there's no mandatory homework time for you to work on things. Feel free to use it if you want to that way, but I plan on staying out of your way. You guys feel free to stay out of mine. So anyway, everybody have a good time. And he sort of gives a wink to whoever happens to be looking at him, and smells. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Ambrose wants to make an announcement real quick, so everybody just pay attention to Ambrose. I'm sure Ambrose really likes that. So here we go, everybody. And Ambrose walks up, and he's meticulously dressed. He's always dressed in the height of fashion. He's well known to be one of the wealthiest family in town. Has no problem making sure everyone knows that. Spends his money like it's nothing. Best parties that this small town has ever seen. And it's coming up on time for another one. So he gets up and says, "Thank you, Mr. Fontaine. I would just like to say that our Mardi Gras gala this year is going to be a themed event, and I was told that I should invite as many of my friends as I can. So I thought, being Mr. Fontaine's class is obviously the coolest homeroom in school, I would pass out invitations to everyone here. Just to let you know, it's going to be a masquerade ball. We're going to be doing a sort of like Victorian era costumes, masks, and he pulls out an example of a mask. It's ostentatious. It's a little fox-looking mask on a stick, and he holds it up and laughs, and then puts it away. He goes, and we have made it very clear with the Magnolia and Moss tailor downtown that anyone who shows up with one of our invitations is welcome on our dime to get any sort of costume or suit or dress that they wish. And please pick something nice. Don't be shown up. Don't embarrass me, please. And he makes very specific eyes at Tessa, Maggie, Kevin, a few of the others that he suspects will embarrass him, but he's taking a chance. And he says, so anyway, I hope to see you all there. It's going to be the party of the year. And you're welcome. And he starts walking down the different aisles as kids start. Carter throws like a scrunched up ball of paper at him, and he ignores it and starts handing out what appear to be individualized invitations for everyone in homeroom. And when he gets to Kevin, he whispers a little bit, and Kevin sort of blushes. Then when he gets to Maggie, he says something, and she just freezes up. She doesn't even blush, and passes out to everybody, and eventually gets to Tessa last. And he leans down to Tessa and he whispers, I suggest you take advantage of the Magnolia and Moss. I was thinking of you when we did that. And he smiles.
How kind of you.
I know. And he hands you your... he puts the invitation down on your desk. Or on the table in front of you. And he goes, all right, everyone, pick your dates for the evening, and just immediately walks over to Madison, who is sort of looking at him like whatever. And what's interesting is, B, you're looking at Carter. We may have established during session 0 that B might have a small crush on Carter. And Carter's walking your way. And he sort of takes a deep breath, and he brushes right past you, and he walks up to V. And he goes, yo, if you don't have anybody to go with, hey, if you want to go, I'll give you a ride.
I thought you were dating Bunny.
He glances back at Bunny, and she is not looking in your direction. She obviously knows he's over there talking to you, but she is not looking. And he goes, well, Bunny's decided she wants to explore her options. So, is that the way you put it, Bunny? She just does not respond at all. She's talking to one of the other girls. And he goes, anyway, so, hey, I got a motorcycle. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I guess I will consider it if no one else asks me, so thanks.
He frowns a little bit, but he's not like quick enough to come up with anything to reply to that. So he just, all right, well, let me know, and sort of wanders off. And B, at this, as he wanders off, B is staring at you, but she's not staring at you like angrily. In fact, she looks put out, maybe that, as near as you can put it, as near as you can see, it looks like she's put out that Carter sort of beat her to the punch. Like she was heading your way and Carter got there first. But she turns around and she's talking to, what's her name, Reba? And continues her conversation. Let's see. Does anybody have anybody they want to ask out? Because you guys are the most popular kids around here. Well, sort of. You're the most popular kids to anyone I'm concerned about right now. So if you don't have anybody you're planning on asking out, we got people who's going to ask you out.
I want to have a conversation with Bunny.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Bunny is just sitting there and sort of scratching in her notepad, not really doing anything, doodling a little bit. And she looks up and goes, "Oh, hey."
Hey, Carter said you were exploring options. What does that mean?
It means that I'm not sure Carter is my type. And she's putting on a face. I mean, like she's smiling, but it doesn't reach her eyes, really. Maybe I'm not interested in guys at all.
Do you have a date yet?
And she does blush at this, and she says, "Did you not tell Carter you were going with him?"
No, fuck him. No, he was speaking for you. I don't like that. So, do you want to go together?
And she smiles and yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. And she starts giggling. That perked her right up.
Okay, good. Do you want to go after school, figure out outfits, see if we can get a group together or something?
That Yes, I absolutely do. That's great. That sounds like so much fun. I can't believe they're just letting us go there for free. That's amazing. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anybody else you want to invite or anything?
She sort of looks around and says, "Well, I mean, everybody's going. There is a girl in my second period who I would like to see there. I don't know if she got an invitation or not. She's not in homeroom. Amy. She's I don't know. She's friendly and she's nice, and I think she deserves to go to something like this. But I don't know if she's got an invitation, so I'll have to wait and see, I guess."
I'll ask. It's all good. I'll get one for her.
Wow. Okay, great. Um, wow, thanks. And she just sort of nervously giggles a little bit and goes, "All right, well, see you after school."
Yeah.
All right, and she just when you leave, she can't help but sort of chuckle a little bit under her breath, like she can't believe what just happened. And as you walk by, B's desk, B, how having obviously noticed Carter pass you up to go talk to V, does B have any sort of opinion on that, or is she just like, what the fuck ever?
I think that she probably is aware that Carter's not into her. And I think seeing him go to V, like, kind of like made her aware that, oh, like, it's okay, he doesn't want me, he wants her, kind of thing. So she's probably just kind of sitting there. In her brain, I think she's thinking that she'll try to like get an invitation for Parker, who's like the other like 18-year-old who just started as a volunteer at the firehouse, who she's friends with. Like, oh, I'll get an invite for Parker. It'll be whatever.
Okay, cool. So while you're sort of thinking about that, distracted, you see Maggie has quietly snuck up on you. And she's holding out her invitation, sort of like just in front of her, probably just to have something to do with her hands. And she is like, B, if you're not going with anybody, I think it would be fun if we maybe went together."
Yeah. Sure. I don't I don't really have anybody that I was gonna take anyways. So
Okay, thanks. And she turns around and immediately walks off. And as she walks off, she brushes by Big Willie, who walks straight up to you immediately. And he's like, hey, I didn't know if you were going with anybody, but I really thought it would be fun if you wanted to go. We could go as like a big group or something. Um, I think several people are going together. That's what Bunny was saying a while ago. So yeah, if you want to go together, I think it would be fun.
I mean, I just told Maggie that we could go together, but if we're getting a group together, that's fine.
Oh, Maggie, really? And he sort of looks back, and Maggie's already back in her seat, and she's sort of head down in her phone, not even looking up, madly typing about something. He goes, I mean, I guess. All right. Really?
Yeah, she's sweet.
Okay. Okay. And he sort of wanders off. He's, you know, uh, it, he's definitely acts a little different than he used to now that he's got his nickname. He definitely is, yeah, thinks he's, maybe a little bigger than he should be. But he takes your word for it, moves on. He goes and starts talking to Bunny and, excuse me, gosh, choking to death. Bunny and, is it Reva? Yeah. They're talking all together as a group. And Tessa, as you're just sort of, what is Tessa doing while everybody else is pairing off and obviously talking? Is it Reva or Reba?
Are you thinking of Remy?
Whoever your rival
I think you're talking about Remy.
Talking about Remy.
Remy, Reba. I was thinking Reba McEntire, I guess. I don't know. Remy, thank you. I knew it was a 4-letter word that began with R, and I don't have my list pulled up in front of me, so there you go. Remy, that's what I'm talking about. But anyway, what is Tessa doing as everybody else pairs off?
Tessa is just in that back corner and has their headphones on, music blaring, and is just watching everybody, but like sketching, doodling in her notebook, making it look like she's not interested at all, but she's definitely seeing everything that's going on right now.
Gotcha. Well, then you notice before they get there, both Gus and Lala, arm in arm, walk right up to you. And Lala goes, Tessa, and she sort of glances back at Ambrose. And it's sort of a derisive look. She obviously is not, she has a complicated relationship with Ambrose, let's just put it that way. And she says, if you want to go, Tessa, Gus and I are going, and we would love to have a third. And you're more than welcome.
What pronouns are they, them, by the way?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. They say, right, we're going as a couple and would love to have a third. And we would love it to be you.
Funny. I'm not going to this stupid party.
Lala sort of gets down and taps on your headphones.
What?
I think you'll have fun. We'll make it fun.
I'm sure. I have a match the next day.
Lala chuckles. And Gus says, everybody's got a match the next day. Who cares? You're going to kick everybody's ass. You always do. Have a little fun. Relax. You're the most uptight person in this whole class.
I don't know why you all care so much all of a sudden.
They shrug. Look, we'll check in with you throughout until the party starts. We think you'd be fun to hang out with. That's all. If you don't want to go, so be it.
I'll let you know.
All right. And as they walk away, you can hear Gus say, I told you they wouldn't want to come. I knew it. Lala just shrugs, sort of smiles a little bit and giggles. Still plenty of time.
And I'll put the headphones back on.
Gotcha. And Noah. What's Noah? Noah, I would imagine, doesn't have. Well, you tell me. What's Noah's reaction? People are talking and giggling and whispering and asking each other to go to this party. What's Noah up to?
I don't think Noah has much of like a reaction. I think that they're just still chilling at their desk, listening to their, piano music, eyes closed maybe, and just like not worried about it.
That's okay. Well, eventually, with your headphones on, you sense someone there before you hear them, and you can taste there's some fear coming off this person. This person is maybe not deathly afraid, but definitely on the nervous side of fear. You look up and there's 6'6", tall, blue-haired man, and he's sort of got his hands in his pockets. And whenever you look up at him, he sort of waves a little bit and says, he sort of points to the ears and Jared sort of looks around and says, so are you going with anybody to the gala?
No.
I'm not either. Want to go together?
Alright, why? Okay. I'm not gonna, put out or anything.
He
Like,
goes,
I'm a virgin. No shame.
He's okay. Okay, well, bye. And he turns around and walks off. And he's obviously just completely confused by that reaction. And he has no idea what to say. And right as he turns around, he bumps into Madison. And Madison is like, watch out. Like, oh, sorry. And he sort of wiggles out of the way. And she goes, hi, I heard that. I promise that I won't hate you if you don't put out, but if you want to ride to the gala, might be kind of fun.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Maybe we can get matching costumes or something. What do you think?
Is that something you want to do?
Yes, she says.
Okay. Sure.
She sort of grins crooked and tilts her head. All right. Well, maybe we can head out sometime this week and head down to the shop.
Okay. Yep.
All right. She moves on. And Noah, you and V both notice that as Madison gets done talking to Noah, Ambrose grabs her arm. I mean, doesn't start throwing her around or anything, but makes her stop. And they whisper heavily. He's a little possessive here. And she is unperturbed by whatever it is he's saying. Matter of fact, she seems to sort of get a little kick out of it. And he finally just, fine. And that's all you hear. And he goes and sits down next to Lala, actually, and starts chatting around with them. And Madison, nothing much is, in the chaos of the classroom, eventually you just hear Madison's laugh, crystal clear, just come over, laughing at some joke that somebody told her. And anybody who bothers to look, Ambrose is fuming right now, very upset. But that takes up a good portion of homeroom. Does anybody have anybody they want to talk to, or anything they want to happen during the rest of the school or during homeroom?
I think like after Madison like walks away, is anybody sitting at the table with me?
Me.
Okay, I think Noah like leans over like, do you think that was like a joke?
It better have been.
Huh. Weird.
Hey, do you actually want to go with that group?
I mean, I'm not really. Doesn't matter, I guess.
Why did you say no to Jared?
I didn't. I said I was a virgin and he walked away.
Were you gonna say yes?
If it was okay with him.
Do you not care who you go with?
It's not really a big deal. Most people, they leave their partners when they get there anyway.
That's not how that works. If I went with you, I wouldn't leave you. We'd be going together.
You didn't ask me.
I didn't think you'd want to go with me, so. Well, regardless, if you want, I mean, we're gonna go as a group. I think me and Bunny and honestly whoever else. So if you want to go with a group who won't leave you, you've got a group.
Okay. Yeah, that would be good.
Okay. Well, I'll see you later.
Okay. So
Tessa doesn't do anything for the rest of homeroom, but just watches B and is like watching, not quite hoping that she'll come back to talk to her, but there's just like a constant like check in to see what she's doing, who she's talking with, if she's coming this way, if she's looking at me, like trying to catch her gaze accidentally, but doesn't do anything.
Does B catch Tessa's gaze or no?
I think that B is just like making like God, the other people at her table are horrid. I just looked at it. I guess she's talking to Ambrose because I don't think she's talking to Copper or Kevin. But I think she gets like that sense that somebody is like looking at her, and she turns around, and I think she makes eye contact with Tessa and just like throws a little smile, and then goes back to talking to Ambrose.
When you catch that, Tessa will give you a little smirk And then as soon as you turn away, there's like a pause, and then her head just goes down. And she goes back to drawing in her notebook.
All right. So, homeroom, he finishes without any further incident. And unless people have something else they want to talk about during school, V, getting Parker, was it you getting Parker or Amy an invitation?
I'm getting Amy. That's what I was about to say. I want to talk to Ambrose.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you talk to Ambrose at the end of class. It's you've got 5 minutes between classes, and he's walking out, and he's putting on his whatever fancy ass jacket he's wearing, and yeah, he looks back and says, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, can I steal you for a second?
Well, sure. Yeah. What's up?
I really need to get another invitation, if that's okay.
Well, I guess it depends on who it's for.
Honestly, I don't know her, but I don't know. I thought she might be fun for you. Can I roll to turn him on?
Yeah, by all means, go for it. First roll of the game. Let's do it.
Oh, well, it's a fail. So, be first roll.
Okay, well, first roll gets you experience with your first roll.
Yeah.
So there you go. For those watching who may not know how Monster Arts works, if you roll to do something and it's a fail, 1 to 6 is a failure, 7 to 9 is success with a complication, and a 10 or above is a full success. But if you do fail, you get an experience point to help maybe get you more moves or powers as after 5. So he goes, I plan on having plenty of fun, thanks. But if you think this person's going to be interesting to have at the gala, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but you can't let it get out. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I won't. I won't. It's our secret.
okay. He goes into his bag and he's got several more invitations, apparently, that he's planning to give out to a few others who weren't in homeroom. But he pulls out one and it's blank. It doesn't have a name on the front. And he goes, I can give you this. I might need a favor later, though.
What favor?
Hell, I don't know. I mean, you're capable. He looks you up and down. Seem to know your way around stuff.
Okay, yeah. I owe you a favor.
Great. Here you go. And he hands you a blank invitation that you are free to fill out as you see fit. And Amy's last name. Do we have anything? Let's see. Let's pull up what Amy's last name might be. Amy Stallings is her last name. So if you obviously you don't have to fill it out for her. You could, who knows, that could be a very valuable thing you own. But you currently have one blank invitation to the Mardi Gras Gala at Ambrose's parents' house. And yeah, does anybody else have anything else they want to do before school or ends? During school, I should say. Yeah, no? All right. So the day goes by, as high school days do. It seems to take forever. But soon enough, the bell rings. Everybody starts piling out the doors almost immediately. The scene is like you see in all the sitcoms and stuff, where it's almost like all the kids were just standing at the exit to the school when the bell rings, and they just immediately start pouring out. And I'd like to get from you all what your after school routines tend to be. Let's start with B. What's B's general average everyday after school routine?
She, walks back to the station and probably just chills there. If there's like a call, she sometimes goes out with them. Sometimes we'll just stay at the station, and chill, do homework, play,
Okay.
do whatever.
Yeah. Noah, what about Noah?
I think Noah stays after school for a tiny bit, to use the piano in the music room, because they don't have like a good one at home. They just have like a little keyboard, so they kind of practice, and then once they get their fill of however long that may be, depending on how hard the day was, they'll head home.
How good is Noah at the piano?
She's
certainly
really good.
passable, obviously.
Yeah, she's good. She's played for probably a decade at this point.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, she definitely knows her way around the piano, and that the camera sort of fades in on her sitting there playing some beautiful concerto on the music classroom's piano, and then fades out and fades up on Tessa. What's Tessa's after school routine?
So Tessa after school generally goes to either rugby practice or just goes to work out for like an hour or so. And then some nights goes to her job at the local used record store. And if she doesn't have work, then she goes home and makes dinner for her siblings, and kind of takes care of them because who knows where her mom is. So yeah.
Gotcha.
So I think this is a night that she works.
Okay. That sounds right. That's what I was actually going to suggest. That tonight is spent at the I assume she closes the record store.
Yeah.
And in a small town, sort of a record store with actual vinyl and stuff may not be quite as busy as it would be in larger cities, but it pays the bills and you get paid to do it. So what does V do? What is V's general after school situation?
She's either gonna go work out, or I think she does like a tutoring session. Because she's on track to be, I know I wrote in my bio that she's already gotten accepted to college, but what is it, like March? So she probably hasn't yet.
Okay.
But she wants to go for criminal justice. So I think she's either doing like an internship. Let's go with that.
Okay.
But
like with the law sort of
yeah.
situation?
Yeah. So she's either doing that
All right.
or she's at the gym, so.
Okay. Well, let's say tonight's a gym night. We'll just pick that for now. All right. B, when you get to the firehouse, Hamish happens to be there in the front room, like washing down the truck. And he looks over and says, "All right, you young lady, homework first, socialize after, yeah?"
Yeah, I know.
All right. I think Bill's cooking dinner tonight, so it should be pretty good. So just don't ruin your appetite, all right?
What's he making?
Lasagna, I think. Pretty famous for it, so nobody likes it when he cooks anything but lasagna, so hopefully that's what he's cooking. We'll see.
Sick. I'll see you at dinner.
Okay. That sounds good. And he's been acting a little weird around you the last couple of weeks. If we remember from the previous episode, or the prologue, as it were, he's the one who found a locket of yours in the alley, but he hasn't brought it up since. And he's still being the guy it's his job to make sure you succeed at school, as far as he's concerned. So as you're walking up, you have your own room separate from obviously the sleeping quarters for all the firemen. It's rare that anybody will have their own room, but obviously your situation's a unique one. Before you get to your room, you hear Bill raising his voice a little bit. It's hard to tell exactly what he's talking about, but he's obviously down in the front in the garage with Hamish. And
can I try to listen?
Yeah. Sure. As you sort of head back towards the stairs, the sound follows much better, and it basically, you hear Bill go, "You're fucking kidding me! You can't be serious. What are you talking about?" And Hamish is like, "Look, I'm telling you, it's my job to investigate that thing, and the only person who has lied to me this entire time has been B. I don't know why she's doing that. And I've got to turn something in. I've got to tell Reese about some sort of idea how this thing started." And Bill's like, "You were fucking crazy. You're not going to turn B in as some sort of fire starter. What the hell's the matter with you?" He's like, "Look, I don't want to do it either, but the rules are the rules." And they sort of fade away as they obviously sort of walk back to the office. And Bill's getting pretty hot. Bill is he's sort of the guy with the attitude in this whole thing. He blows up pretty quick, and he is pretty hot about this whole situation. But he's apparently on your side. He finds it completely unthinkable. You get your homework done, and you come down to dinner, and yes, it's lasagna. And you sort of, everybody sort of go, I don't want to say everybody, but Hamish and Bill go quiet when you walk in. They were obviously whispering a little bit. Guys at a firehouse, you would think the secrets don't get kept very well there, but they don't interfere in each other's stuff. If they got stuff and need help with something, they expect somebody will ask them for their opinion or their help. They don't just overhear if they can help it. And Bill looks at you and sort of just frowns even more, gets in Hamish's face a little bit.
Were y'all talking about me?
Hamish looks over and he goes, "Can we not talk about it here? We can talk upstairs maybe, huh?"
Weird, but okay. But I'm eating first. I'm hungry. And she goes and takes like a fat slice of lasagna.
All right. And Bill's like, "Yes, here." And he hands you obviously the best, if B likes the corner piece, she gets the corner piece with all the crunchies and stuff on it. And the whole time Bill is just staring daggers at Hamish. And Hamish doesn't seem to be eating much at all. He's just picking. And dinner finishes up, and it's William, not Bill, it's William whose turn it is to clean up. So he starts cleaning, and everybody goes about their way. And Hamish walks up to you and says, "All right, let's go talk upstairs, maybe in your room."
Okay.
As you walk, Bill falls in lockstep. He goes, "No, you're not. I'm involved in this. We're both talking." And they walk upstairs. Your door shuts behind them. And Bill is looking at you, and you're looking at Hamish, and everybody's looking at each other. Bill goes, "Well, spit it out. Tell her what you think." And Hamish goes, "B, did you set the fire a couple of weeks ago?"
No. I told you that when you asked me about it last time.
Bill goes, "Fine, see?" And he's already on your side. He's absolutely on your side. Hamish goes, "Okay, I just have to ask because it's my job to figure these things out. You know how it is. What were you doing there? Why did I find your locket in the alley if you had nothing to do with it?
Hey, what buildings are around the fireplace? The place
There
where the
was well, it's a lot of abandoned buildings. There was a sort of a low income apartment complex that caught on fire, and people did get hurt. People died in that fire from smoke inhalation. One lady fell down the stairs. It wasn't even the fire's fault that killed her. So being a small town, there's some pressure to figure out what happened to this fire. There's also a concert that was going on at the same time. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot of reason for you to be down there. There's like a McDonald's down there, so a fast food joint. But yeah, otherwise you tell me. Feel free. You can be in charge of what was down there. Whatever you say it is, it is.
Where should go to the concert? My friend Tessa's favorite band was playing down there, and she wanted me to check them out. I didn't stay long though. I was gone before the fire started, so.
You look up and Bill is just staring at Hamish like, okay, sort of got that look on his face. And he says, okay, all right, well, I'm glad you didn't get hurt. All right, I'm sorry that I had to ask.
Yeah.
When Hamish leaves, Bill sticks around for a little bit, and he looks and goes, hey, Hotshot, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
Didn't start the fire. I wasn't even there when it started.
Fucker's crazy. You know Hamish. He's everything is suspicious until he rules it out. But he's crazy. We all know you. Obviously, you're not starting fires. Jesus. Anyway, take a break. I don't know if you got any plans this weekend, but we can go. I've got hikes planned for Saturday, Sunday, overnight. But hey, if you want to go, you're more than welcome.
I'll let you know.
All right. Talk to you later. He walks out, and Hamish is at the stairs, and they start, motherfucker, I told you, blah, 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 blah. And they sort of are pecking at each other as they walk away. And then the scene changes. And the scene changes to... Who could it change to? Noah. Noah, after staying at school for a little while, playing the piano, do you drive, or do you walk, or do you ride a bike? How does Noah get from place to place?
Yes, Noah drives.
Noah drives. Okay. You get home about the same time as the rest of your family. The kids had been picked up from their school. It stayed a little late. They have after-school things that they do. And your mom and dad are both in the car with them. You all pull up at the same time. And as you get out, your mother's like, oh, hello, and comes and gives you a big hug and walks in with you. Your dad is the way your dad's been for since your incident. Very standoffish. He speaks to you only when spoken to. He doesn't treat you badly necessarily. I mean, he doesn't get on your case or tell you no or anything. He just does not tend to speak to you very often. And he goes on inside. And your mom, Beth, sort of, as the kids run inside in front of you guys, Beth goes, so, were you planning on joining us at church this Sunday? You've missed the last couple.
Do you need me to be there?
Well, I think it would be good for your soul if you did, just like the rest of us.
And I think that Noah knows the difference between how her mom treats her and how her dad treats her. And I think she doesn't really want to disappoint her mom.
Okay.
Because she doesn't want her mom to start treating her like her dad. It's like, okay.
That's great to hear. All right. So be up early. We go to 7 a.m. mass. It'll be nice. I don't expect you to go as much as your father. Your father will be there all morning, but we'll all go in the early mass, get it done with. She sort of ruffles your hair a little bit, and you can have all Sunday to yourself.
Yeah. That's early.
Well, yes, but what else are you going to do at 7 a.m.?
Sleep.
Well. And she laughs and sort of walks inside ahead of you. And as you get inside, your youngest brother, what was his name? Luke,
Luke.
I think. Luke. Basically, immediately walks up and says, "Hey, Noah, I've got a ball glove." And he holds up a baseball glove, a little tiny one. He's 7 for those at home. He goes, "I bet if you throw this, I can catch it." And he holds up a baseball. It's like a T-ball sort of thing. It's one of those a wiffle ball, like one of the plastic balls with all the holes. And he goes, "Come on, throw it."
Are we still in the house? Are we in the house?
Yep, you're inside in the front. You're right in front of the front door, and he's running towards like the kitchen area from the front door, and he's not looking where he's running.
Okay, Luke, watch out! Oh my gosh!
And he goes, "Okay," and boom! Immediately he bumps into like a corner of a table, and and you can tell he's trying to be. The lamp gets knocked over. It doesn't crash or break, but things get knocked over, and he's trying to hold it together. And you see the tears coming up in his eyes, but he's trying not to cry.
Oh no. Noah goes over and like bends down. It's like, hey, it's cool. You're good. Like, fuck that table, right?
Does she say "fuck that table"
Yeah.
or no? He like immediately forgets his pain. He goes, "Noah, kids talk like that." And he sort of looks around and he sort of grins. He goes, "Fuck that table."
Alright, but you gotta be careful. You can't be running around the house. You know that.
Okay. Okay. Whatever you say. Let's go. And he runs out the back door into the backyard. Says, "Come on, Noah."
She'll follow him.
Okay. When you get out there, he's playing with like the neighborhood cat already. He's not like he's still got his ball glove on, but there's like a stray cat in the neighborhood that always comes over. One of those cats that everybody sort of feeds a little bit here and there. And he's like playing with the cat, and the cat's loving all over this kid. And he looks up and and he holds up his glove. And does Noah sport? Does Noah throw the ball? Is Noah any good at it?
Noah will throw the ball. Noah is not a sports person. So whether it goes in her brother's direction is,
It goes in your brother's direction, but he's 7, so he assumes that he's just bad at catching and he's going to get better. But it's pretty obvious that he had no chance to catch that ball whatsoever. And the scene will slowly change as Noah's playing outside with Luke, and the scene sort of fades out as we see your father, Marcus, sort of looking out the kitchen window at the pair of you, and he just shakes his head like, God, and shuts the curtains and goes on. And it comes up on V. Your workout, I think by any definition, you tell me if I'm wrong though, is pretty intense. V's training is pretty serious.
Yeah.
Okay. So, by the time it's over, sweat, wore out, breathing hard, the whole thing. As you get, would V get cleaned up at the gym, or would V go home and get cleaned up?
I think she would get at the gym. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So V comes out finally, having gotten herself together. Comes out of the gym with her gym bag over her shoulder. And as she gets out of the gym, you see Jared walking into the gym. Again, dude, farm boy, 6'6". You've not seen him at the gym, especially this late before. Well, you've never seen him there at all, so who cares how late it is? And he sort of stops short. He sees you. He goes, "Oh, hey, do you go here? This is your gym?"
Yeah. Yeah. Since when do you go here?
Oh, well, I trying to get in shape, and the dude is already in shape. This dude is the after picture in any before or after. This dude is in great shape. And he sort of chuckles. He doesn't have a gym bag. He's like in his jeans and like a farm shirt. And goes, "Oh, okay, well, see you later." And he sort of walks towards the front doors.
To leave?
No, this was outside.
Oh.
I'm sorry. This was out in the parking lot. He was walking
Okay.
towards the place as you were walking out.
Hey, Jared.
Yeah?
Why'd you ask Noah?
I thought she might want to go. I wasn't sure if anybody else would.
But what about Noah made you want to go?
I don't know. She's nice enough. She's kind of mysterious. And the sort of his attitude has changed as you're asking these questions. And I mean, not in a bad way. He like gets a little more comfortable because you're asking him things that he knows about. And he basically says, I mean, she's kind of mysterious. I don't really know anything about her, and I was, thought I'd try to get to know her better, but then she started talking about sex and getting laid and stuff, and I wasn't ready for that.
Well, you said you wanted to get to know her. I mean, why'd you just walk away when you could have gotten to know her?
Well, I'm not. I was embarrassed. Sorry, I didn't know. Do you think she would go with me? And he's like, do you think I have a chance?
No.
What?
No.
Well, fuck you. What?
I wanted to know why, out of all the people in class, Noah. I mean,
What's wrong with Noah? Why don't you like Noah?
I do like Noah. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. Just figured I asked.
Yeah, well, she's apparently going with somebody else anyway, so I'll see her there, I guess. I don't know. She seems like. Anyway.
Do you have gym shorts under those jeans, or are you planning on working out in jeans?
His eyes get big. His eyes get like like dinner plates. I like to work out in jeans. It makes it harder. So, yeah.
See you tomorrow in class.
Okay. Sure thing. And he sort of slowly walks towards the door, sort of waiting for you to leave. And as you walk away and get in your car and start it, you notice he doesn't go inside. He turns, goes around the corner, goes around the back.
I'm gonna follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
You follow, and just sort of peeking around a corner. Finally, you see him go around to the very back of the gym, and the gym is in sort of a like a strip mall sort of situation, not far off the highway. And When he gets back there, he's sort of looking around the dumpsters and stuff, and finally, you see a guy I don't know. Would you recognize all the guys from the fire department or no?
Depending on if they're on a list.
No. This would be the youngest one at the fire department, the person known as Parker. So it's a young guy, not barely older than you.
No, I don't know if I would notice him.
Gotcha. So you see a guy you don't recognize come out and meet with Jared, and he pays Jared for something. And Jared hands him something. And Jared keeps glancing around, but V knows how to hide and make herself unnoticed. And he never sees you. But it's something heavy. And it's something in a plastic bag, like a Ziploc bag. And immediately after this little transaction takes place, what's his name? Jared keeps walking sort of as if he was just going to make a lap around the building. So keeps walking away from you. And Parker walks towards you, and he's sort of checking this thing out. I mean, not towards you specifically. He doesn't see you, but in your direction. And he's checking this thing out in a Ziploc bag, and you realize it's a pistol. And, as he's sort of walking in your direction, he finally takes he's got this shoulder bag on, and he puts it in his shoulder bag. And just keeps walking, and he eventually passes right by you unless you decide to hop out at him.
I'm going to follow him. I want to get his license plate number.
Okay. He walks out, and you see he gets into a little tiny, escort-looking car, a little compact car. And, you get his license number easily enough. You now know which car is Parker's car, if you need to know that. But he gets out and drives back in towards the main part of town. Sort of not too far from the school. He's going back to the firehouse, but you may or may not know that. So,
can I wait for Jared to walk around so I can meet him?
Sure. And as he walks around, he's sitting there like an idiot, just counting cash, just out in public, just do 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 do. And he's walking back towards his car.
How was your workout?
Oh shit! Oh, God damn it! How was your fucking workout? What are you doing here? I thought you were leaving.
I forgot something, so I went back in. Are you done already?
Look, I'm not working out, okay? You obviously know that. I had to meet a guy here. I sold something online. I met the guy here, and we traded up. If that's any of your business.
A gun?
He stops, and he narrows his eyes a little bit. He goes, "Why do you say that?"
I fucking saw you, Jared. I'm not an idiot.
Roll to shut someone down for me.
Okay. That's a 10.
Okay, a full success
Mm-hmm.
on a shut someone down roll means, let me pull up my stats here. On a shut someone down roll, let's see. On a 10 up, you get to choose from one of these. They lose a string on you. They have none. If they have no strings, you can gain one on him. So if you want to, you can have a string on Jared. They get a condition, which is something for the audience, something that can be used against them in the future if you reference it. Or you just take one forward on the next roll that involves Jared. You get to pick any of those.
I would do a condition.
Oh, okay. What kind of condition?
Criminal?
Okay, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jared now has the condition criminal. Down. Okay. And he's like, look, okay, fine, yes, a gun. You're not going to tell anybody, are you?
Who'd you sell it to?
The kid at the new guy, the Parker, the guy at the firehouse. He's the new guy. He's he like volunteers down there. He said he's got somebody chasing him down for some reason. I have no idea why.
Okay. Thanks. And she's turned away and walked to her car.
He goes, I'll owe you one if you don't tell anybody. But you hear that as he's shutting the door. And all right. He sighs deeply and gets in his car and leaves. He's not too far behind you. Goes home. Tessa. The scene changes over to Tessa at the record store. On slow nights at the record store, Tessa, are you the only worker or is there anybody there with you?
Yeah, I think I'm the one that works. I close. It's a used record store in a small town. We also sell CDs and cassette tapes, though. But yeah, I think she's the only one that works here. It's not a very big store, and they don't get a ton of business.
Gotcha. As you're at the record store, you get a text, and it is a text from your little younger sister. I'm pulling it up here.
There are two of them.
There are two of them, and
I'm assuming it's not the baby.
It's not the tiny baby. Has not mysteriously learned how to work a phone. It is, and it takes forever for this stuff to load. Here we go. It is
Sophie.
Yes, it is the 9-year-old Sophie, and it's not unusual for Sophie to text you. Sophie, just enjoys being able to talk to somebody, and she texts you a bunch of just stuff about how her day went, and eventually she says, Maya came by looking for you today.
I will text back. When? What did she want?
It was not long after school, and she said she wanted you to join them at rehearsal whenever you got off work.
Okay, tell Mom I'm gonna be home late. I love you.
Love you too. I'm usually asleep when Mom comes home, and then that's all she says. So, the rehearsal, assuming that, Tessa, you could technically close up early, I guess, if you wanted to take off. Depends on how excited Tessa is to do this.
No, she'll keep the store open. Like, she is. They expect her to be here until 9 o'clock when the store closes. She will, but as soon as the 9 o'clock hits, she is booking it out the door.
Gotcha. And it turns out their new rehearsal space, because obviously the old one got exploded, is a place that has been named Blackout Avenue. That's the name of the quote-unquote club, which, again, is basically a dirty abandoned warehouse. And you get there, and you can hear their song, Chaos Theory, the band, is playing a song you recognize. It doesn't sound as good as it usually does. You realize as you listen, you've listened to them enough, you realize it's the guitar. Lindsay is not back up to full strength. So you get in there right as they're finishing the song, and the camera sort of looks over all the band, and Lindsay's arm is burned. I mean, it's still very much in need of healing. Her hand is like still crunched up, and she's trying to relearn how to strum the guitar, and she is not keeping up with the rest. And eventually, when the song ends, everybody sort of stands there, and you're there. Everybody's already seen you. It's no secret. There's a awkward pause for a very long time. Nobody says a word. Until finally, Paige says, "Look, are we going to discuss this, or are we just going to pretend it's not happening?" And that's all it takes. Lindsay immediately busts into tears and runs off backstage. The other two, "God damn it, Paige." Fuck. Paige says, "Look, fine. If we don't have somebody to play the guitar, what the hell are we even doing? We need to find somebody else who can do this." She looks over at Tessa. "You know how to play the guitar?"
No, I don't.
"Yeah, I didn't think so. Look, somebody needs to talk to her." And the other two, what are their names? Maya and
Amanda.
Up here, Amanda. It's like they are reluctant to agree with Paige, but they're not fighting all that hard with what she's suggesting. And she says, "Look, I'm not that good at talking. You guys know that. And we can have her back as soon as her hand heals up, but somebody's got to talk to her. Somebody's got to tell her we need to find somebody else to take her place until she's better. I got rent to pay. I don't know about you guys." And they just don't say anything. They sort of look down. And the girl, Paige, looks up at Tessa and goes, "You're good at talking to people, right? Everybody says so."
Nobody says anything about me.
"Look, you want to do us a favor? I'll owe you one. Just go talk to Lindsay real quick. Tell her you got to be better at this than me. Tell her that, we love her, blah, blah, blah. But we need somebody who can actually play the guitar for the next couple of weeks until she feels better. And she ain't it. Put it better than that. But yeah."
Yeah, okay, I guess. If you need me to, yeah.
"You're awesome. That's great. All right, I'm going to get drunk. I'll see you guys." And she walks over to the impromptu bar, that they barely set up. It's filled with liquor bottles. And just starts helping herself, pouring drinks. "Hey, you two, come on over. I'll get drunk." And the other two sort of walk over to her, obviously less enthusiastic about all this.
Tessa is just sort of frozen in the moment, like just freaking out about what is happening because this is just a lot. But after a moment, she'll kind of regain herself, and I will head down the hallway, following after Paige.
And there's not really a backstage like a room, like a green room or anything, obviously. There's more like some pallets have been covered in like spare wood propped up to be a impromptu green room. And you can hear her just crying back there before you can see her. And then, yeah, you look into the little doorway.
I'll kind of knock a little bit on the whatever surface is nearby.
And she looks up. Oh, God. She wipes her eyes. She sniffs. Hey, what's up?
Hey, I just, are you okay? I mean, I know obviously you're not okay, but do you want to talk about it?
I don't know what to talk about. I don't know. I don't know how to play the guitar anymore. My hand doesn't want to do what I tell it to.
I'll walk over and sit next to her. Is she like, is there like what is the situation?
The situation is there is a bunch of folding tables and, or not a bunch, a couple of folding tables and a bunch of folding chairs, like metal folding chairs. Otherwise, if you're not sitting in a metal folding chair, you're sitting on the floor.
Is she sitting in a chair?
Yes, she is.
Okay. So I'll grab a chair and pull it up. Not like directly next to her, but kind of, a reasonable distance from her. Look, what happened wasn't your fault. You'll get your strength back. If anyone can do it, it's you. But you need to take some time and rest. It's only been a couple weeks. Burns like that, they take a long time to heal.
Shakes her head. I don't have a couple of weeks. If they find somebody else, Paige is not going to let me come back. I know that.
Not true. Lindsay, Chaos Theory would not be what it is without you. You know that. They all know that.
I don't think so. I'll be ready. Just tell them I'll be ready. I'll be fine. I'll practice. I'll practice from now until Saturday. Okay?
Don't you think that might make your recovery time longer?
If I could play the guitar, I don't care how long it takes to recover.
But if you keep overexerting yourself, it's not going to get better.
He sort of sets her jaw a little bit and goes, if I ever find out who set that fire, I'm going to strangle him with my bare hands. And she holds up like a crooked hand. I'll make my hand work for that.
Yeah, you and me both. Look, I think maybe it's best to sit out the next concert. Just, they can find a temporary replacement and no one will be able to play like you. They're not going to replace you. But you need to rest.
If Tessa really wants her to believe this, you're going to have to do a move of some sort.
Yeah, I am going to. I don't really have any strings or anything on her. I'm gonna roll to turn her on. Not in a like overtly sexual way, but in just a like trying to make her feel comfortable kind of way.
Okay, great.
That's an 11.
Well, all right. That definitely does the job. Let's see here. So, on a success, they do what you say or they act awkward. And they're going to do.
Get a string.
That's where you go. You get a string. And you. Right. And she sort of gives up the idea of trying to stick around. He says, "You promise me that they'll let me back in the band."
Yes. I mean, I can't control them or anything, but I couldn't imagine Chaos Theory without you. They have to let you back.
All right. Okay. Fine.
Paige, you're the one that started this band.
Yeah, we have heard that story before.
Look, I don't know. I will come to every concert and scream your name until they let you back in.
She laughs at that. That's the first, smile you've seen on her today. You're a good person, Tessa. Thank you. And she sort of reaches over with her good hand and sort of takes your hand, sort of pats you on the leg and on your hand.
Tessa's freaking out.
Well, she doesn't seem to notice. Whether she does or not, you don't know, but she doesn't seem to.
Would we consider this Paige sharing her sharing something vulnerable?
Absolutely.
Cool. So I learned her insecurity, which is, I'm assuming that she's gonna get cut out of the band.
Exactly. Yes. That she's very insecure about being able to come back to the band.
Look, it's nothing. You guys are my favorite band. I don't.
Well, you're our favorite fan. She smiles.
I still can't believe you guys know my name.
You stand out in a crowd, Tessa. Let's just put it that way.
I guess that's fair. Look, get some rest, heal up, come back bigger and better than ever. Throw the biggest concert y'all have ever done for your return. And I will be there in the front row. I will start the mosh pit.
All right. And she smiles and nods, and she's agreed to it. And yeah, unless you have more you want to talk to the rest of the band about, you just gonna go out and tell them the story, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'll go. I just go and kind of tell them. I don't tell them everything. I just say, actually, what I say is, look, I talked to Paige. She thinks it's probably best if she maybe sits out a couple weeks while her hand heals. You guys wouldn't like replace her, right?
Paige sort of looks at the other two, and Maya's, no, of course not. She's the heart of the band.
Okay,
And
good.
yeah, but Paige didn't say anything. She's just sitting there sipping her drink and looking at you over it.
Good. I couldn't. I just couldn't imagine the band without all four of you. It'd just be so weird.
Okay. As the Paige, as you say that, Paige sort of puts her drink down, says, "I know you could do it for us," and she says, "Come on in." And you look over, and there's somebody at the door with a guitar. And yeah, you look up, and it's Remy. And she walks in, "Hey, let's see what you can do." And Remy sort of walks in and looks Tessa, looks you up and down, goes, "Hey, looks like I'm going to be in your favorite band."
It's just temporary.
She gives you a wink. "Sure it is, kid." She calls you kid all the fucking time, like she's any older. You're older than she is, but she calls you that.
Tessa, I don't know how visible it is, but I think the audience definitely knows it. Tessa shrinks a little bit. There is a collapsing and a deflating. Whatever, as excited and as happy and as amazing as that whole scenario just was, this has popped that balloon a little bit. And so when that happens, I think Tessa's just like, okay, well, I gotta get home. Thanks, guys. And she head down, books it out.
And the scene will end with Tessa heading outside as Remy begins playing one of their most popular songs and doing it flawlessly from inside. She is amazing.
Damn it.
And yeah, we'll go to a commercial from there, and we see the title card come up, RoguesPort. So I think it's a good time for a break. So we'll everybody take 5, 10, whatever. We'll be back in a few, and yeah, we'll see where we go from here. All right. Welcome back. So, as we get back from commercial, the scene comes up on V. V, when you finally go home, after your workout or what have you, what's the situation at home? What sort of place do you live in? Is it a normal house? Is it something else? I mean, describe your home situation for us.
I feel it's giving like loft. Like it's probably downtown, like above a business type thing. That
Okay.
I assume like Aurelia runs. But it's like a full business, like whole building top, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So they basically have the top floor of like a 4-story building or something like that.
Yes.
Or
Mhm.
okay, with roof access and all that, of course.
Mhm.
Okay, and the living situation is basically V lives with several other women, correct?
Mhm.
Um, in a sort of communal family situation. So we pick up with V coming home, coming in the door, and it's pretty obvious as soon as V opens the door, the someone and sort of walks inside a little bit into the actual loft. You hear one of, for lack of a better term, one of your sisters, Raquel, yelling, "Why not? I don't understand why you're acting like this." And she just bowls past V and heads to her space. I assume everybody has their own like private spaces.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's just, when she brushes past you, she's just got fire in her eyes. She is mad enough that she has tears in her eyes. She looks like she's about to cry. Describe Raquel for us, just for the audience, so that they have something to visualize. Is she younger than you, older than you? How is she?
She's older than me. I would like to say like 25 or so. She is a mixed female. She's got big curly wavy hair, and very fierce eyebrows, and always looks mad.
Gotcha. You know what occurs to me as we say that? I don't know if we did visual descriptions of our characters yet. Let's do that now. As we get into scenes with the different ones of you, we'll ask you what your characters look like. I should have done that at the beginning, but hey, this is fun. Everybody has their own imaginations. So, describe what V looks like when she comes home from the gym, please.
She has she's got a very stark hourglass figure. She's soft but strong. Like she may not have a lot of, I don't know, visible muscles, but she is sturdy as hell. She's like average, or no, she's not average height. She's 5'1". So she's little. But she is Latina. She has like beautiful olive skin and about medium coarse wavy hair, dark brown eyes, and very full natural lips. But when she gets home, she's probably wearing like biker shorts and sneakers and like a black crop top.
Gotcha. So you witness Raquel run off, and you look back to where she's come from, and you see both Aurelia and Emily um, standing there. And Emily's got a look on her face. She's like staring, like almost open mouthed at Aurelia. Like whatever just happened is apparently shocked Amelia or Emily. I'm sorry. And yeah, Aurelia sees you, and she has this sort of the same sort of smile she gets on her face a lot. Aurelia has a mysterious, knowing smile, but it's soft, it's motherly, it's welcoming. Um, Aurelia is sort of the leader, mother figure, I suppose, of the group. Correct?
Yeah, like matriarch. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So yeah, you have some options here. What would V do in this situation? Does V just let it go? Does she follow Raquel? Does she go talk to Aurelia? Well, how's this work?
No, she's gonna talk to Aurelia. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, as you walk up to Aurelia, Emily just sort of shakes her head like she's finally like okay, and she starts walking off. And as she walks past you, she just gives you a look like good luck, and just keeps walking. And Aurelia looks at you and goes, "Well, hello, V. How are you?"
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay, but I don't think Raquel's doing too well right now.
Why? What happened?
She's upset because I wouldn't let her go out with Onyx on a retribution tonight.
Why? She could use backup.
Raquel is. There's no one's backup, first of all. She is. She is. How to put this? Out of control. She is not. I'm not comfortable with her and Onyx working together. Onyx is hard enough to control as it is. The last thing I need is Raquel learning from Onyx how to paint walls with blood. That's not something we need, dear. And I'm picturing Raquel as, even though she's older than you, she is the newest member of your group. So okay, good. Yeah. So and Aurelia is seems to be less than enthusiastic about getting this woman started.
Mm-hmm. Do you need me to go with Onyx?
If you're willing to, can you try to keep her quiet tonight?
Yes, I can.
And yes, that'd be fine. If you care to talk to Raquel at some point and explain that I'm not treating her any differently than I treat anyone else, then that would be great too. But I'm sure Emily can take care of that.
Of course.
Yes, absolutely.
I have a question. Do you know there's a new person at the fire department, a volunteer named Parker. Do we have anything?
She glances up Parker. At the fire department? What's he look like? And I haven't described what he looks like. He is. V goes on to describe Parker in such a way as he is a young man, 18. Where's B at? Here we go. He has like mousy brown hair, sort of tousled. He wears horn-rimmed glasses. Are they horn-rimmed glasses? How would you describe those glasses, Presley? Yeah, sort of horn rim with no frames at the bottom, like the lenses. The frames only go across the top, and the lenses are down. When you saw him, he was wearing a sort of nice leather jacket, and he had slacks and what looks like a turtleneck on underneath. I mean, he was put together. And yeah, just a young white guy who seems to think he has it all figured out. And she sort of frowns a little bit and goes, "Well, I can't say I know Parker, but I might ask Emily."
Okay. Yeah. I will. Is she around?
And she sort of, yeah, I mean, she gestures. Emily was the one who was staring at Aurelia when you walked in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But she sort of reaches out and she sort of puts her hand on your shoulder and runs it down to take your hand. And she goes, "Are you okay? Is this a guy we need to
I
see?"
don't know yet. He bought a gun behind the gym today. Apparently somebody's following him. I don't trust the situation.
That's good to know.
Keep tabs, you know.
No, absolutely. Just be prepared for Emily to not necessarily be terribly forthcoming, but it's not my information to give.
Okay. And I'll look at Emily.
Okay. Emily is currently talking to Raquel in her room. The door is open. Door the right word? Yeah, whatever. And describe Emily for us a little bit. Just a basic overview. What sort of position does she hold and stuff like that?
Like in the hierarchy, I guess it goes Aurelia as kind of the matriarch, and then Emily is kind of, I don't know, like the cool aunt in a way. I mean, she's higher up, but she's not that much younger than Aurelia.
Okay. Yeah. So she's in there and she's talking to Raquel, and Raquel is just furious. And Emily's one of the few people who can usually calm Raquel down when she gets in these sort of situations. And she sees you in the doorway and looks up and goes, "Did you need anything, darling?"
Yeah, I do. Can we talk for a second?
Absolutely. And she gets up and pats Raquel on the arm and gives her a little squeeze and then comes outside. I don't know what Aurelia is thinking, but anyway, what can I do for you?
There's a volunteer firefighter named Parker. He's young. Do you know anything about him?
It's so subtle that if you didn't know her as well as you do, you wouldn't have caught it. When you say fire department Parker, everything freezes. Her expression freezes. Her breathing stops for just a split second. She had a reaction to the name. And she goes, "He's not on your list, is he?"
I don't. Why? Do you know him?
He's off limits. That's all you need to know.
He bought a gun. Somebody's following him. I want to
Then
know.
I will handle it.
Who is he?
V. Let's see how this works out. If you have a move that might work, or just to give me some clues to how she reacts to this. Do you have anything that could apply to this situation? Maybe it shut someone down.
Yeah. Let's do it. That'll be a 9.
Okay. You get to choose the same list that we had before, but you come across poorly, and you get a condition in return. Your condition is going to be nosy. Write that down too. And you can take a string on her. She can lose a string on you, which I don't believe she has. You can give her a condition, or you can take one forward on her, as you see fit.
Forward.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you have one forward on Emily, but you did succeed. He is important to me, and if something needs to be done, then I will be the one to do it. She gets very close to you, so close. I mean, she's in your space, and she leans up very close to you, almost as if she's giving you a hug, and she whispers in your ear, "Parker is my son. No one knows that but Aurelia and now you. He is off limits."
Are you the one following him?
Maybe. I keep tabs on him. I'm going to be very shocked if he knew I was doing it. If someone else is following him, I will handle it. Please be. We can't let Onyx or, God help us, Lucia get hold of him. Please.
I won't. He's off limits. I get it. I respect that.
She does give you a hug. And she backs up. Thank you. Now, surely you have something else to do tonight. You can't be sitting here babysitting us.
I do. I have Aurelia gave me a job.
Excellent. Well, have fun. And she smiles and turns away. And we will change scenes to... Anybody have a scene that they want to do? I'm going to flip a coin.
Is it still the same night?
This is still the same. Yes, this was happening sort of simultaneously with Tessa's interaction at the concert. So yeah, this is still the same night. We'll say this is Noah's turn. Noah, it's evening. Does Noah? Let's first of all, it's your scene. So let's describe Noah a little bit for the audience at home. What does Noah look like, and what's Noah's deal?
So Noah is very, very small. Maybe 5 feet. Very, very, very skinny, very slender. Like no muscle, nothing. Very pale, like long white blonde hair, very icy blue eyes. She's very silvery. Like just her. She's very kind of got that look about her. And yeah, she's kind of always got layers on to kind of make herself look bulkier, like turtlenecks and flannels over turtlenecks and loose pants. But yeah, that's what she kind of looks like.
Okay. Well, it's later in the evening at this point, and everybody's settled down for the evening, going to bed. Your family in general, possibly with the exception of Noah, tends to go to bed pretty early. They are early to bed, early to rise sort of people. That's a question. Does Noah sleep?
I think she does. I don't think she sleeps a lot.
Okay. So at this time, your parents assume you're asleep, but you can hear them arguing through the walls. Their room is just next door to yours, and it's rare that you can hear them actually argue. Your mother often is the how to put this, a very, very supportive stay-at-home housewife. But you hear her voice before you hear your father's. And as you listen, go up to the wall, kid knows how to do that. You hear her saying, "She's your daughter, Marcus." And you hear him say, "Are we sure she's still our daughter? Are you sure it's not something else that came back? She's not the same girl." And your Irish Catholic father, and my pathetic Irish accent. But she is absolutely the same girl. You're not going to treat her any differently, or we're going to have a problem. You understand? He's like, "Damn it, Beth. What are you talking about? Fine. At least let me get Father Jackson here to pull an exorcism or something." And there's a silence, a pause. And you hear, "What?" Loudly. Severely. He goes, "What's it hurt? If she's not possessed, then what's it hurt?" And you hear her say, "Marcus, I don't do this, but I'm putting my foot down. We are not going to perform an exorcism on our daughter." Fine. I'm going out. She goes, "Where are you going? It's 9:30. Where are you going?" It's the middle of the night. And he goes, I don't know. I'll go down to the church and pray about it or something. Just be careful. And you hear your parents' bedroom door open and shut a little bit louder than it should. And yeah, assuming you don't just run out there after him, you see your father. You can look out the window and see him pull out of the driveway and go down the street in the car. And you can hear through the window your mother very softly crying. She's pretty upset.
I'm going to go and like knock on their bedroom door.
You hear a come in. And when you walk in, she has just sort of pulled her hair back a little bit, and she is laying in bed in her head-to-toe pajamas under the covers with a book. Oh, hey, Noah, what's up? What can I do for you?
Look, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can change things.
She at first she was obviously gonna put, like, oh, don't worry, you have nothing to apologize for. You could see that those words were forming on her lips. When you say you don't think you can change things, though, her face falls. She goes, you heard us talking just now?
Yeah, I'm right next door.
Your father is a very superstitious man, and he doesn't deal well with things he can't explain, unless it has to do with the church.
Dad doesn't. Does he love me still?
Of course he does. Noah. Oh, and she gets up out of the thing and she walks over to give you a hug. Of course he does. He's just confused, honey. Oh, and you can hear her. She's about to get emotional. So, how does Noah react to getting a hug from?
I think Noah will hug her mom back.
Okay. And your mother sort of puts her hands on your face and makes you look her in the eyes. She's like, of course we all love you, Noah. Of course we do. Your father's just scared. He's just afraid. You do me a favor. Do me a gaze into the abyss roll. Let's try that.
Okay. What is my... Okay. It's a 9.
Okay. So, on a 7 to 9, the abyss shows you confusing and alarming visions, but you get your answer nonetheless. So, you don't know exactly what you're asking because I'm the one who asked you to make the roll. But basically, the idea is, as a creature that craves the fear of other people, you've never felt that from your father. You've never sensed fear. But when you gaze into the abyss, with your mother looking you dead in the eyes, everything goes monochrome. Your vision. And you're looking at your mother, and it's like she is ghostly, ethereal. You can see wisps of some sort of smoke, and just everything in your vision is slightly wavy and see-through. And you can see all the way down to her like bones, and she is just staring at you, and she is talking, and then you realize the feeling that you're getting from your father as you picture this. You can, if you really focus, you can see he's not that far down the street yet. He's apparently pulled over somewhere just a block away and sitting in his car, and you can see that through the walls, through the trees. You can picture it, you can see it. But as you realize what you're looking at and look back up at your mother, you see this, skeleton with a ghost over it just back up, and immediately your vision comes back to normal. And your mother is staring at you wide-eyed. And you feel the fear here. There is absolute fear here. There is whatever just happened has scared the bejesus out of her.
What?
No, your eyes. And you look over in the mirror. She points to the mirror on the vanity. And we see at the same time Noah sees, your eyes have gone pitch black. Just everything about them. Like they're plastic, almost. And as you watch in the mirror, that fades away, and it eventually fades back right there. Just a couple seconds back to your normal eyes. And you can still taste the fear from your mom. But she's trying to get it under control.
I may have to keep my cool.
Okay, do it.
That's part of one of my moves.
Gotcha.
When you ignore a promising feeding opportunity, roll to keep your cool.
So let's describe what you're feeding on here, too. What does Noah feed on?
Fear.
He feeds on fear, right.
Oh, Mom, don't make me do this. Oh, it's a 10.
Okay. On a 10 up, you keep your cool and gain insight. You get to ask me a question about the situation and take one forward to acting on that situation.
Just like the situation of like my mom and my dad, and I guess.
Generally, yeah. I mean, if you can think of something else that's even tangentially related, we'll give it a shot. But generally,
does my mom really believe that my dad like doesn't hate me, or is she saying that because she wants to make me feel better?
When she said it, she believed it. In the last 10 seconds, that may have changed. But while you are examining this and trying to resist the urge to feed, your mother gets her fear under control, stands up, and her face just turns to one of extreme sadness. She comes up to you and takes you by the arm, and pulls you in tight for a hug, and she whispers in your ear, "You're just sick, Noah. You're just sick. You'll get better. We'll find a way to make you better. I promise."
Okay.
And the camera, before it changes scenes, you see just your mom has tears rolling down her face after you say, "Just okay." And yeah, the scene sort of pulls out, and the camera sort of flies down the block a bit to where your dad is sitting in his car, just parked on the side of the road in your neighborhood. You see him on the phone, and he's talking, and he's getting pretty animated in the phone. Then finally the camera sort of makes its way into the car, and you can hear him. "Look, her mother won't agree to it, so we'll have to find her somewhere else where her mom's not around. But it's very important. Okay? I'll let you know. All right, fine. All right. Bye." And he hangs up. And then we cut to another scene. everybody's had something tonight. So let's go to the next day, unless somebody else has something they want to do this evening. Anybody they need to talk to? Anything? No? Okay. The next day, at school, the whole thing about school is the gala. Everybody's talking about who got invited, who didn't get invited, who's the real invites, and who are the people who were invited as a joke. And there are a few names.
When is
Say what?
When is it?
It's going to be, let's see, it's not this coming weekend, but the weekend after.
Okay.
Yes, everybody got effectively a week. Well, let's say 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So, yeah. So it's still 2 weeks away, we'll say. 2 weekends away. And, but everybody's sort of pairing off, and the ones who didn't get invited are, like, pissed and sad or whatever. And the ones who did get invited, most of them are sort of lording it over, like feeling special. Tessa, someone comes up to you, and you can sort of feel them come up behind you before they actually show up there. And she sits down next to you. This is during lunch. Does Tessa normally sit by herself at lunch, or how does Tessa normally? Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah, in the corner by herself. Probably at like that one lunch table that's like broken. Other people might come and sit near her, but she doesn't. She will just go and sit in that corner by herself.
Gotcha.
Unless somebody
let's describe her look while she sits at the lunch table. What do we see when we look?
Yeah, so what you see is a very tall person. Tessa is 6'2", and she is thick. She plays rugby. She is muscular, but not like toned or lean. Like she is very much like farmhand ripped, where they're not defined muscles, but she is strong. Um, she's wearing a like black tank, like sleeveless, kind of high necked crop top. Probably says Chaos Theory. It's probably a band shirt that she's like cut the sleeves off of and stuff. Black skinny jeans with like fishnets underneath. And black combat boots. Her hair is shaved on one side, but the rest of it is long and thick, and she kind of keeps it sort of flipped over and in her face to kind of try to hide a little bit. She is yeah, she takes up a lot of space and also no space when she doesn't want to be seen. She kind of collapses into herself a lot in these moments where she's alone. On the rugby field, it's a different story, but here in big crowds, she is very, very introverted, very turned inward on herself. She is probably wearing those big headphones, and drawing in her notebook.
Gotcha. So as you're drawing in your notebook, yeah, someone sits down right next to you, like right next to you. Like there's plenty of space at this table, but they're sitting like rubbing arms with you. You look over and it's Madison. And she sort of pats you on the arm. Her fingernails are meticulously kept and painted probably every day. She is gorgeous. She's sort of like the antithesis of Tessa in pretty much every way. And she pats you on the arm, and she waits for you to sort of take off one side of your headphones. Does Tessa do that, or does Tessa just stare at her?
Tessa will take one. She kind of like sets them catty corner, so the one is still on.
Gotcha.
What, Madison?
And she leans over And she says, for what it's worth, I don't think you're a joke to be invited to this thing. I know everyone's saying that, but I, for one, don't think it's a joke.
Thanks for your vote of confidence. What do you want?
Nothing. I just wanted to say that I hope you can make it. I hear it's going to be a lot of fun. And she sort of looks you up and down. She goes, and you get free clothes out of it, so maybe that'll be nice for you.
Great. Should I change my name to Carrie while I'm at it?
I guess. She obviously doesn't get the reference. She has no idea what you're talking about. She goes, whatever you want to do, I guess. But no, you should come out. It'll be fun. Everybody wants to see you there. You, Maggie, Kevin, all of you.
Sure, Madison. Can I get back to my lunch now? Or do you need something?
She sort of looks down at your lunch and she goes, did you get 2 lunches?
Yeah. Is that a problem?
She goes, no, just I don't know where you put it all, that's all. And she stands up and saunters off back towards the rich and popular kids.
Tessa looks down at her lunch and pushes it towards the center of the table.
Okay. When you do that, you look up and looking back and forth, Bunny sits down on the opposite side of the table. The table's broken, so it's sort of leaning her way. She goes, hey, what's up? You okay?
What, Bunny? Are you here to make fun of me too?
No. I mean, no. And she gets a little quiet. I was hoping... Look, I know you don't talk to a lot of people, and I need some advice, and I was hoping you might be able to, help me out.
Tessa's whole demeanor shifts. There was this tension that she had in her body before, and as soon as Bunny says that, it relaxes. Yeah. What's going on?
She has her own lunch, but she's just sort of picking at it with a fork, not eating any of it. I don't know. I feel like an idiot, but it's Carter. He's gotten mean lately. And I was hoping maybe you would have some sort of ideas on how I could, just figure out what I've done wrong. Don't tell anybody about this, please. I don't want anybody to know how pathetic that sounds.
It's fine. If he's being mean, why do you think it's your fault? That sounds like a him problem.
No, he's always had a bit of a streak, but I don't know. He's just never been. He's never.
Did he hurt?
He's never hit me before.
When did this happen?
You can't tell anybody. You have to promise me you won't tell anybody.
I won't say anything.
It happened last weekend. He just sort of snapped. We were just talking. I don't know. And he punched me. It was in the arm. It wasn't like he hit me in the face.
Was he joking around, or was it out of anger?
If he was joking around, I guess it's possible, and it's obvious to you that she's searching for an excuse.
Hey, no, that's not what I meant. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Look, did you say something to him afterward? Like, did you tell him not to do that, or?
I mean, yeah, because it hurt, and I was like, "What'd you do that for?" And he just stared at me with these weirdest eyes, and so I told him, "Look, I'm not gonna be with somebody who punches me."
Good.
And he just said, "Fine, I'll find somebody else." And he didn't talk about it. He didn't say anything. And now I'm starting to think maybe I made the wrong choice.
No, you made the right choice. You made a hard choice, but you don't have to put up with that. You're better than that.
Okay. And she smiles a little bit, just the tiniest smile. She goes, well, all right, thanks. Thanks. That means a lot. You're not gonna tell anybody, right?
I won't say anything.
Okay. I'm sure it was a one-time thing. I'm sure he was not like that normally. Okay. I'm gonna go. Thank you, Tessa.
Yeah.
So does that feed one of your moves, perchance?
Yeah, I imagine that I learned her insecurity. She can remove a condition, but I don't think she had one.
No, she did not.
But I will mark the insecurity down.
Okay.
As soon as she walks away, I want to scan for Carter.
Okay. Carter you scan around, and he's not in the cafeteria, but you see him outside. He's smoking outside, like in the parking lot.
I'm gonna go up and throw my food away, like put the tray up, and I'm gonna go out to the parking lot.
Okay. Yeah, you go out there, and he's just finishing up a cigarette, and he just flicks it off somebody's car, and he's heading inside. And it looks like he's done.
I stand directly in front of him, like I get in his way.
And he has to look up at you. He's not no 6'2". He looks up and goes, "Hey," and he keeps trying to get past you.
Hey,
if you're not letting him,
let me bum one of those.
fuck you. Since when do you smoke?
Fuck you. Since when do you know anything about me? Give me a fucking cigarette.
He sort of looks at you weird, but yeah, he pops one out and taps a cigarette pack and hands you one. You got a lighter?
I don't have one on me. Do you? And I'll hold a cigarette out for him to light.
He holds up his just little disposable Bic and lights it. Yeah, okay, well, I'm going to go inside. See ya.
Hey, man, thanks. And I'm going to punch him in the shoulder. Like, real hard.
Roll a lash out physically.
Yeah, I'm super good at these. I am, however, because this is related to Bunny's insecurity, so I get a +1 to any rolls made to solve her problem for her. So I will take a +1 on that, which makes my volatile 0. That's a 4. That's going to be a failure.
Okay. You punch. Okay, on a failure, let's look that up because there might be something specific that happens. No, there's nothing specific that happens on a failure. So you roll to punch him, and you hit something that he's got. He's wearing this like leather jacket, and when you roll to punch him, he moves just a little bit, and you hit something, something hard and metal under his coat. It's probably, I mean, the way it sort of makes a noise, it's probably a flask he's got in his inner coat pocket, but it doesn't hurt, and it kind of hurts your hand. He looks at you. Oh, you think you're funny? Boom! And he hauls off and punches you dead up in your like rib cage. Just he doesn't punch you in the face. He's not. He's perhaps too good at he knows better than to hit a girl in the face. How he knows that, we'll figure it out. But he punches you hard back. V, Noah, and B, all three of you witness this. I mean, Tessa being outside, B, you happen to be sitting by the window. V, you were watching since the beginning. When she started, you saw the first punch get thrown. And Noah, I don't know, for some reason you're sitting there with B or whatever, and you see it too. So all three of you witness this. You lose your breath, Tessa. You knocks the wind out of you. Fuck you, bitch. And he sort of kicks some dirt at you, like this is fucking 1950s or something. But he kicks something at you and then goes back inside, puts his cigarette packs in his pocket, and heads back indoors, leaving you out there, sort of leaned over on your knees, slowly getting your breath back. You've been hitting rugby plenty, so you're familiar with this feeling, and you're pretty quick to recover. But he's gone at that point.
I will just stay out there and finish the cigarette.
Okay. Anybody else do anything? B, Noah, V?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to say something.
All right. He comes back in, and the cafeteria has doors directly outside, so he's coming back in those doors. He's in the cafeteria. He smells like cigarette smoke, the car exhaust.
Hey, what's your deal?
What's my deal? I don't know. What the fuck's your deal?
You all hear my computer saying it's dying? Okay, there we go. Are you good? What's going on?
I'm fucking good every day. Why, you want a piece?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Hey, all right. He sort of raises his eyebrows. He looks you up and down. He goes, anytime, honey. Let's go.
Okay. I'm gonna roll the hit. Let's do it.
Okay, he is not expecting you to hit him. You're not Tessa. So he's I'll give you a +1 on this because he's going to be taken completely off guard by this.
Are we?
He thought you were talking about something else.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't have any moves that work necessarily. Okay. I probably hurt somebody last night, correct?
Yes.
I would assume that yeah, okay, so I also get a +1.
Right.
Here, okay, let's do this. It'll be a 13.
Okay. Well, then you get to describe. You absolutely hurt this dude. You describe how in what form does that take? How do you hurt him?
Oh, I have long nails. I think I just go and I scratch the shit out of his face. Where like skin is now underneath my nail situation.
Sure. He screams. The whole cafeteria goes silent. He screams, "What the fuck? Oh, fuck!" And he's bleeding. I mean, a scratch like that on the face bleeds like crazy. It takes a second, but as soon it's like the shock once it wears off on the skin. All of a sudden, just bleeding, dripping blood. You're fucking crazy. What the hell? And I mean, he's getting ready to flee, basically. But you have a chance to say something if you need to.
I think all I'm going to say is I need to wash my hands now. And she's going to walk away and go to the bathroom.
Oh, fucking God, crazy bitch. Jesus Christ. And he is, he takes off towards what you can only assume will be the nurse's office. And Yeah, everybody's just staring at you, just absolutely staring at you, and somebody. What did Noah and B think of this whole situation? Obviously, you guys witnessed it. Noah, what did you first?
I think Noah starts like a clap.
Starts like a clap. Okay. B is Noah's right there near you, beginning applause for this. What does B think of this whole situation? What's B think of Carter in general?
Well, B has a crush on Carter.
Right.
Also, I think B maybe knows about Carter's hemophilia and is now maybe a little concerned that he's like bleeding, but also saw him like deck Tessa. So I think I don't think she's applauding with Noah, but I think she's maybe sitting there like, she's got like a little smirk on her face because like that was cool what V just did, but also is a little concerned. She's got a lot of feelings going on right now.
Yes. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So the applause quickly starts to spread. Pretty soon, the cafeteria. It seems like everybody in the cafeteria is clapping and woo, wow, get them, yelling at V, cheering her on, and
was there any fear from Carter, or was he just mad?
at first, no, it was shock. It was. I mean, there was a taste of fear there. I mean, once he realized what the hell was going on, he saw his own blood. It was like, oh my god, oh gee, because he is a hemophiliac. That's not widely known necessarily, but he knows bleeding like this is not good for him, and so that's where he was running. He was running off to. It was a taste of fear, but it was mostly shock and just pure surprise. I don't know if it would be enough to maybe turn your ears black or your eyes black, but well, it's a little snack there. Sure, you wouldn't have any problem with that. B, you notice as you're looking around at everybody who's clapping, except for you, there's somebody else who's not clapping, and Bunny is not clapping. And as you look at her, she's not looking at you. She's looking around at everybody, and she gets up and runs off after Carter. And
I think V just like sinks into herself a little bit, and then we'll go back to eating her Uncrustable.
Okay. Eventually, teachers come in, monitors come in, everybody calm down, get everybody calmed down. And Carter, as you guys go through the day, Carter has been sent home for the day. Nobody has reported that he got in a fight necessarily outside, unless Tessa or one of you three, or the rest of you, have said something to a teacher or something. But yeah, Bunny is in a couple of, each of you have a class with her at some point, and she is not pleased. She is unhappy about this whole situation. She obviously has similar conflicted feelings as B does, perhaps a little more conflicted.
Can I talk to her? I'm supposed to go to this dance with her.
That's true. Yeah, you absolutely can.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys have some time. Yeah, you have time either during lunch period or during class or something if you want to whisper. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it's like walking between classes or something. I don't know.
Sure. Okay.
Hey, are you okay?
He looks at you and goes, "Yeah, I'm okay. I wish I could do what you do."
What does that mean? You can. Anyone can.
No, when she chuckles, she goes, I don't know how you move so fast. I couldn't hurt somebody like that. I couldn't defend myself like you can, that's for sure."
Do you need to defend yourself?
And you see her sort of, she said something, her eyes get big. No. I just, just in general. But yeah, no, he bleeds a lot, so he's going to be probably out for a couple of days. I feel bad, but he probably deserved it. Right?
Yeah, of course he deserved it. You saw what he did to Tess. He was down to fight me the moment he got the chance. I mean, what's to say that he wouldn't hit you or somebody else?
When you say what he did to Tess, Bunny, you see the color sort of drain out of her face. And you get the distinct impression she did not witness that. And she's, oh, is Tessa okay? Is she okay? And she starts looking around. I mean, Tessa's not anywhere around. You're out in the hallways, but, you don't see her. What did he do?
Just, I don't know, got into a fight? Why? What's wrong?
He's been stressed out a lot lately. He's not normally like that.
Funny, there is absolutely no excuse for this kind of bullshit. All right? I don't care how fucking stressed out somebody is. No, not okay. I need you to tell me the truth right now.
Roll a shut someone down. Unless you have a string. You don't have a string on her, do you?
No. I do not, no.
Okay. Yeah, roll a shut someone down.
11, 10.
Okay. I'm gonna say you get a string on her. That seems like the most obvious thing, unless you one of those other conditions, something you want, take one forward or give her a condition.
No.
Okay, you can mark yourself you have a string on Bunny.
Okay.
And she realizes, you're sort of the privacy of being in a crowded area where nobody else is listening, and he's hit me before. And I didn't do anything. I didn't defend myself.
She's gonna lean in and hug Bunny and whisper in her ear, I'll kill him. And she's gonna separate and she's gonna walk away. Just complete separation.
Okay. As you walk away, just the very last thing you hear is her have a deep intake of breath. Like gasp, because what you just did and the seriousness with which you just said that is concerning. But, what's she going to do? She doesn't know what's going on. All right. And it goes on to the next class. We all go to class. B, do you have anything, or does anybody else have something they want to do at school before the end of school? No. All right. B, you get home from school at the firehouse. And the dads are all sort of laughing and joking about something. And when you get there, who is it? Let's see. It's one of your the dad who is sort of more like an uncle. Who is that?
Eric.
Derek or Eric. I'm sorry. Yes, Eric. Eric looks over and goes, "Hey, I hear there was a big deal at a big event at your school today. Some kid got his ass handed to him by some girl. Is that what happened?"
Yeah, more or less.
Fuck that kid. Yeah, I was on the paramedics duty this morning or this afternoon, and we got called over because the kid wouldn't stop bleeding. And he was full of shit and yelling and screaming. He was pissed off until somebody asked him what happened, and he shut the fuck up. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Did you know this kid?
Yeah, he's in my homeroom.
Well, I don't know I don't know what got into him, but yeah, he'll be fine. You know, he might have some scars, but he'll be fine. Yeah, he's kind of a douche. You didn't like him or nothing, did you? He's not a friend of yours, right?
No, not really.
Yeah, all right. Well, you can do a lot better than him. If he's getting his ass kicked by some girl, he probably deserved it. So, hey. So, real quick, while they're all sort of going back to laughing, describe what B looks like and maybe what she plans to do, or because she gets a text right then. So, describe her as she looks down at her phone to get a text.
She's like 5'6", average build, bright red hair, it's pretty wavy. She wears pretty much exclusively like her dad's hand-me-down clothes from like the 80s and 90s. But she like upcycles them to make them trendy. And I think that she pretty much always has like an earbud in, just like a Bluetooth earbud, because her phone notifications are like audio because she can't really like she has a hard time reading. So it'll like vibrate and then it'll like new message from whoever.
Gotcha.
So she's always got an earbud in so she can hear when people need to get.
Okay. Yeah, so you get a notification, and it's from Maggie, and it says, I think several of us are going to the Magnolia and Moss. If you want to come along, we can pick you up.
She'll shoot back. Yeah, I'd love to. Who all's going?
It's going to be me, and she describes it's going to be her, you. It's going to be Kevin is going, and who else? Somebody else. Somebody we haven't talked too much. Copper. Kevin and Copper, the two besties, are going along.
What a cool group of people.
That's right. So she says, that's who's going. We can pick you up.
I'll meet you guys there, she'll say.
Okay. And she, sends you whatever the appropriate emoji is. And then, yeah. So you have that. And at the same time, V and Noah both get texts from Ambrose, and it's a group text from several people saying, fittings are free. Come on down to Magnolia Moss today or tomorrow. Today, preferably. And you can tell that it's just sort of a generic text sent to several people. Tessa, you don't get a text from Ambrose, but you do get a text from Madison. Or no, from Lala. I'm sorry. From Lala. That says, looks like half the school's going to Madison and Moss. If you want something to wear, come on down.
I don't respond. I feel like I have work tonight, but I feel like the record store is like a couple storefronts down from the tailor shop. Like they're
perfect
nearby each other.
Yes, it's in the. We'll say it's even in the same little strip mall as the gym. And Madison and Moss has the big sort of the anchor store there. And then your little record store is sort of around the corner, so you can actually see out the front window when people go in there.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I'm headed to work because it's still like pretty close to the end of the school day, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so I'm like finishing up from my workout. Not at this gym. I can't afford this gym. I work out at school.
At school. Sure.
And then yeah, so I'm like getting ready to leave. So I imagine I'll be getting to work right around the time that all of these groups show up to get their
Okay.
stuff done.
Perfect. So, Noah, do you decide to go? Or are you staying?
Yeah, I'll go. Sure.
Okay. And what about V? Are you going to make it out to the
Yeah.
fair?
Oh, yeah.
Well, several of you, very many, almost the entire homeroom gets there at the same time. Tessa, you actually arrive at the same time a lot of others are, but you obviously make your way to the record store. And we see a bunch of people sort of walking in, laughing and joking. And it turns out that there are several people on staff. Looks like they've called in extra staff. This is a big deal. And there are people trying on masks and looking at the, checking out outfits. And it really looks like a period piece from like Amadeus in this place right now. It's ridiculous, frankly. Ostentatious. God knows how much money this costs. A ridiculous amount of money. But while everybody's trying things on and sort of laughing and joking, the camera pulls back and it heads over to sort of see Tessa watching through the window. And it sort of goes up in a big crane shot. And he goes over to follow a car. Don't recognize anybody in the car. It's just some random generic car going down Noah Street. And you see a cat run out into the street. And there's a squeal of tires and a thump, thump. And the car then just sort of takes off. Doesn't really stop. And right behind it, we see Noah's mom, Beth, like holding a hand over her mouth, like in shock. And your little brother, Luke, who runs up and she goes, "No, Luke, watch out, be careful. Don't. It's going to be awful." And Luke says, "No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay." And he's running up, and I mean, there's no doubt that this car did a number to this cat at first. So we see your mother sort of run up behind Luke, and she goes, "Luke, don't touch. Oh my God." And she leans over and she gasps. And you see Luke has picked up a cat and is petting it, and it's licking his hand, and it looks just fine. And then we cut to credits, and that's the end. We get a title card.
What?
And that's it, folks. Yeah. So there we go, and that's our first episode, episode 1 of RoguesPort. So there you go. Who knows what's going on over there? You guys causing some problems. So, all right. Well, we're gonna all digest this off camera. So we will let you guys go. We love you guys. Hope to see you next week. Mondays, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. I'm sure sometime in the middle of the night, Greenwich Mean Time. But please come back. We'll see you next time. We love you guys. I love you guys. We'll see you later.